Hello and welcome to Editing with My Wife, now with more lines. I'm the Hooded Philosopher and I'm here with Cheesy Loops. Cheesy Loops, what's this podcast about?
This podcast is where we learn what book clubs really mean.
Alright, let's go figure out what that means. But before we do that, we should probably dive into what happened before.
Well...
with a recap.
Are we doing chapter 2 or are we just doing chapter 3?
Just chapter 3.
Alright, so in chapter 3... Nathaniel saves some lives. They were some brigands that were trying to rob them because they were down on their luck, and shows Draelynn the meaning of kindness in their world. And then you learn from the boy's perspective that he has lots of questions because he's a very curious young man, but has not enough words to express them. Draelynn reveals a little bit about what it was like on his world, especially during the time when Nathaniel was helping someone. And Tresska shows off her slip ring. Alright.
We'll move on to the next chapter then.
Alliances. Chapter 4. I like the lines. The lines are cool. Nathaniel and the boy stayed back on the boat. He took his time to try and understand some of the boy's hand signals. Tresska and Draelynn were looking at some breads to take with them when a middle-aged woman leaned against the table near Tresska, saying, He never forgets you, you know. How you bested his father's greatest warriors." Tresska blushed lightly, her hand dismissing the thought, while saying, "His best men were but little boys. Have you heard from the book club?" The woman's face dropped for a second before a smile returned. "They haven't met in over a decade. Aaron died from an overdose as we waited for the one that is promised." "You'll be happy to hear that the promise has finally been fulfilled." He gestured for Draelynn to walk closer. He obliged. "He's only been here for a few days. Can you get the book club together on short notice?" The other woman's shock gave way to excitement, then paused. "They have been alerted. It's finally happened. They said that we will meet tonight. Meet me back here after my errands. I'll guide you to the home where we meet." She eyed Draelynn up and down as she said this. Good. I can't wait to see the girls again," Tresska said, giving her old friend a hug. "See you later then," she walked away. "What is this book club?" he prodded. Tresska obliged. "It is a small group of people who ostensibly take time to discuss a single piece of literature." She pointed at something in the distance. "What is literature?" The Ford fumbled out as he followed Tresska to a nearby stand, holding a few well-bound books. Tresska picked up the book and held it out for Draelynn to inspect. The shopkeeper was distracted. Draelynn opened the book, inspecting the pages. Does this black help the kindling catch fire?" He ripped out one of the pages. "No, don't!" she shouted, ripping the book out of Draelynn's hands. She reached into a pocket and pulled out a small round container. After dabbing her fingers into the cylinder, she pushed the page back together, repairing it. "It's not kindling, it's a book. The black markings are saying something." She pointed at a random section of the book and began reading from there. He caressed her inner thigh. His heart... She stopped reading aloud. At least. "Bad place to start. Let's try the beginning." She opened the book to the beginning. "When the little creatures of the forest were asleep, some enjoyed," she trailed off. "You are to tell me that the markings on the page tell you that?" Draelynn was dumbfounded. Tresska reached into her pocket and pulled some powder of creation, handing it to the merchant and keeping the book. They walked on. "I will have to teach you how to read." "I'll need to be able to put the markings on the kindling for you to see?" Draelynn said, interested at the prospect. Tresska giggled sweetly. It made her blush. They found a decent table to sit at and found a few moments to themselves. They spent some time on the alphabet and some grammar. Draelynn was getting it. Tresska was a skilled teacher, Draelynn, an eager student. They stopped when the foodsman came by. Tresska waved him over. She handed him some powder of creation. Anything in particular? The foodsman asked. Something simple to eat, but meaty, Tresska replied. My favorite. The man bowed. His hands came up. 3 large plates full of various meats and sauce appeared on the table. Saying nothing, he walked away. I like that man, Draelynn told Tresska, who smiled, grabbing a nearby fork and spearing a chunk of fried breaded meat. He took in a deep breath of the smell, then grabbed the fork and followed Tresska. After they had cleaned their plates of the food, the foodsman came by and made all the tableware disappear. The book club is a code for resistance. We use it to seem inconspicuous, Tresska explained. Then we meet with the ladies. They guide us on what to do next. That won't be long now.
Now I've lost it. I went up. Sorry.
Thank you. That won't be long now. Let's get the boy. There's work to be done. They walked back to the slip. The boy and Nathaniel were giggling and having a good time. Have you boys eaten? Nathaniel nodded, explaining. I summoned some fowl for the boy to hunt. He had fun. I love to cook over a fire, he shrugged. Win-win. Draelynn lifted the boy out of the boat with a small giggle. We're going to mask the boy as best as we can before we head in to see the book club. You got the ladies back together again? He said, surprised. Aaron won't make it, but we will press on. We need a ticket to the high arena. We need Grolok's cursed hammer, or at least we need it out of Grolok's control. We'll know more once we have a chance to talk to the ladies. Give me that bottle. Go over there. Okay. 7:13. Okay.
It's not very long. I don't think you need to worry about it.
Tresska had removed a large green fuzzy leaf. Her hands became coated in the same fuzziness that was on the leaf. After putting it back in the container... After putting it back in the container, she began molding the boy's body into a different form. She was a master at it. The boy looked 10 years older after a few minutes. It's a good thing you cannot speak. Otherwise, I would have to reach down your throat and change your vocal cords. The boy's eyes grew big. Tresska let out a laugh. I'm only kidding, she reassured. The boy was excited to go into the town. Tresska, it's Lola. We're on our way. I can't wait to see you, the voice came into her head. She related to the others. The ladies are on their way. We are to meet them in the square. Hurry now, she finished. They went to the market square, where they met the first lady. After a few moments of searching, she saw them waving her and her party over in a hurry. He knows you are here, she warned. He has guards looking for you. Hurry, come this way to my home, Lola said out loud. They entered into a small building amongst a sea of others. It was warm, with lots of soft places to sit. They found a chair each around a low table. We have the ticket, Lola said, but you cannot do it this time. That is why we have the chosen one, Tresska said, pulling Draelynn forward. He was sent by the divine arcane. Grolok won't stop him, Sloane can't stop him, and we know it. Then let's put the divine arcane to the test, one of the other ladies, Tresska knew to be Kryn, said in her mousy tone. Can you scroll for me?
I forget the cup's in the way.
That's good. Oh, that was too much. Her lover Flynn was sitting next to her, the one they met in the marketplace first, holding her closely. I think I want to test him, she thought about it. Yeah, Lola, open a portal to my home. If he can stop me, I'll consider it, she said, a kind of finality in her tone. Lola opened the black glow that led to the individual's home. Draelynn disappeared into it. Tresska and Lola followed after. Inside the empty whiteness of Flynn's home, There was only one table. Every magic substance lay on it in twos. She went opposite the table. Draelynn approached, noticing the various magics. Choose your weapon, she pointed down to the various substances on the table. He picked up some heartstring and some vial of mine. She scoffed. I don't wish to hurt you. I wish to change your mind, Draelynn explained. She downed the 2 containers. He followed suit. There was a pause. So what, hand to hand? Flynn struck at him unexpectedly. He was struck, but managed to grab her arm back. You gave me heartstrings, tears welled up in Flynn's eyes. You have many regrets from many lives. She was weeping on the floor. A growl proceeded, a fierce strike which Draelynn deftly dodged, tears streaming from her face, making it hard to know where to strike. Draelynn's eyes were full too, but it seemed not to impede his next strike. It was clean and unexpected, right into her gut. I thought you people would try not to fight, Draelynn finished, offering a hand to Flynn, who took it in astonishment. He is the one. She stood up, giving him a hug. They exited back to the real world. Inside the home, the boy was politely drinking a cup of tea. The other ladies were talking amongst themselves as they came in. Kryn came to Flynn's side. It's him, Flynn said. Interesting.
Huh.
Flynn's a lady too?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, because Flynn's very much a male name. Mm-hmm. And so I'm reading it thinking I'm going to be saying he's.
Uh-huh. As you're saying she's.
But I'm saying she's. I just wanted to clarify.
Love knows no boundaries.
Oh, no. I just wanted to make sure I was reading the right...
Yeah. It's all good.
Gender. There we go. Mm-hmm. So we have our entrant. Lucky for us, this should only take 2 days. The boy took a sip of his tea. The steam did something funny to his face. Do you have a place for us to rest? Tresska asked. She pointed to a set of stairs behind... Ow. She pointed to a set of stairs. Behind here. Take the middle room. She waved the boy to accompany her. He got up and followed. They walked up the stair into the middle room. Okay, hold on. They walked up the stair into the middle room, a simple place. The steam was twisting my handiwork, she said, retouching his face. It's been over 20 hours since we slept. Why don't you sleep here? She left him in the room and turned the lights off. That is madness. I get 1 and they get 3? How am I to fight if my hands are restricted? Draelynn was saying as Tresska walked down the stairs. Flynn spoke next. From what I've seen with you, it shouldn't be a fair fight. I imagine... Oh. From what I've seen with you, it still wouldn't be a fair fight. I imagine with Stonewine you could have killed me with a snap of your fingers. Draelynn looked at her confused. Are the beings here that weak? It's more like our control over our abilities is hindered by overuse, she smiled at him. You're a fresh adult being, free from the arcane blight of this world, and apparently it's providing a much-needed strength boost, Tresska explained as she took the seat next to him. I think the divine arcane has blessed him with an immunity, Lola said after taking some of the brown leaf. That confirms it for me, Nathaniel said to Tresska. So the plan is to go the direct route, right? Just the 2 fights? Tresska asked. Well, let's get to it. We need sleep. It's been a while. In the morning, after everyone had finished packing, there was a knock at the door. A gruff male voice came out. Marsec Officer Lewis, please open the door.
It says Lucas.
Oh, Lucas.
Yeah. Lewis is fine too. It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't. It's just some dude. The boy's shape leaf had worn.
It's the whole thing.
The boy's shape leaf had worn off. They were in the middle room. Nathaniel walked out the door, saying, "I'll stall. Figure something out." Draelynn looked at the bag hanging off her hip. You got any vial of mind? Her eyes lit up. Take us to the slip ring. After Draelynn sipped the liquid, he touched them both on the shoulder. He touched them both on the shoulder. At that moment, she saw the officer in the eyes, and the next moment she was sitting in the slip ring, the boy across from her. It's a very interesting episode. Chapter.
Yeah.
So, book club means resistance.
She's got them all over every city.
Yes. And as I understand with the characters and the way we have it set up, that we don't always get to know all the information. But, like, Draelynn's getting upset. I get 1 and they get 3. You get this little...
And his hands are tied.
And
you're blindfolded.
You do not say that up there.
Oh, I think I say it in the next one. Maybe not. I might be wrong.
So...
We'll see in the next chapter.
What I get from this chapter is there's a man named Grollick who has a hammer. They're trying to wrest it away from him. To do that, they have to go into a fighting arena. They have one entrant with the ticket. They chose Draelynn. He has to be fighting 3 guys with his hands tied behind his back.
They have all the magic they need.
And I'm sure you'll explain a little bit more as we get closer, but...
Yeah. No, it changes. Things change.
Uh-huh.
Plans don't always go the way you think they are.
Mm-hmm. So is there anything in here I would change other than punctuations or shifting stuff around?
It's pretty good to me. I was entranced by you reading it.
Of course you were. You love my voice. Scroll up to the top again. I absolutely love him. Like, oh, does this black help the fire catch? That is so funny. Draelynn is this like cute, innocent,
terrifying monster. Unstoppable force.
Yeah. And his innocence is not in fighting or in relationships, but it's in culture.
People.
And it's a very interesting viewpoint to see.
It's mostly because this is all new to him, I think.
Yeah.
He's just genuinely curious.
Well,
it's a human trait after all.
Writing, music,
all this new stuff.
Anything that people do to pass the time, he never had.
Well, for him, it was hunting, which he does do.
He does hunt, yes.
He likes to hunt with his animal buddies.
But at the same time, the hunting also is sometimes him. He's hunted.
Yeah. That takes up some time too, I think.
It takes up a lot of time. Okay, so the way you have literature spelt there, what is literature?
It actually says literauchi.
Okay.
And it's just because I misspelled it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to get the reader to realize that he's not saying it quite right.
I could, but the words fumbled out. I think that was the point of that.
Mm-hmm.
I could fumble the word but she said the word, and literature isn't that hard to copy.
It could be, depending on... Like, I have words that I've heard once, and I couldn't quite hear some of the letters, and so I'm not pronouncing it proper, so... But it's alright.
But it's also Tresska, and she says everything perfectly.
And... But it did help me read it out loud as, okay, fumble this word, because he's not saying it quite right. Mm-hmm. So, I
think that people would do that in their head.
Mm-hmm. I will need to be able to put the markings on the kindling for you to see. So, basically, I need to learn how to write. Okay. I wanted to make sure I read that proper. Mm-hmm. Some time on the alphabet and some grammar. Tresska. Okay, scroll down just a little bit. The foodsman was so fun. Just boom.
That's actually Tresska could do that.
She could?
That's Tresska, yeah. She's foodswoman. However they say it there, I don't know. Foodsman. Yeah. She can do that, but everyone does their own thing, and so she wanted to try someone else's stuff.
Yes, everybody has
their own.
I remember you saying everybody has their own unique way of cooking. And so that's like the perk of, you can be your own foodsman, but
You can only cook your own food. You can't cook somebody else's food.
Right.
You can't create somebody else's food.
It's like going...
Conjure.
Like, you can make McDonald's, but then you go to someone else's house and they make Jack in a Box.
He knows you're here. He has guards looking out for you. Hurry, come this way to my home. Why do you think they have people looking for her?
So...
They don't know the boy yet, necessarily.
They don't know the boy, but...
Why?
They allude later on in this chapter that she couldn't do this test again.
No, she can't. Why would that be?
She's done it before.
Yeah.
And, okay, so...
So why would they want her?
So what little I know of this test, and probably also what a little the listeners and readers know of this test, is that... Okay, your hands are tied behind your back. You let it... You didn't write it in this chapter, but you did say you're blindfolded. And there's 3 against 1. So it is it.
It might be blindfolded. I don't remember now. I might have to look in the next chapter to see.
Yeah. It is an insanely
Or not next chapter. It's actually like 3 or 4
fight.
chapters.
I would assume not many people pass it.
No. Most likely you just die before you make it to the main arena.
And if Tresska's done it once, means she's passed it. And someone's...
herself.
That means for whatever reason, someone's interested in her for that specific reason alone.
It's Grolic.
And it's Grolic.
Yes, that's what it is.
And on top of it, everybody seems to know Tresska.
Yeah.
Who doesn't know Tresska?
Who doesn't know Tresska, and why would they hunt for her if they loved her like that? If she was of love. Is she the bad guy? We'll see.
No, she's not the bad guy. So I know you're gonna say it probably doesn't matter, but Aaron, is that how you wanted that said?
Yes.
Spelt different?
I don't know. Sure.
Okay.
Where is it?
You spelt it E-R-R-I-N both times.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. There's nothing wrong with it. I just was curious as if that was intentional or not.
I have solidarity to all the double RNs all the double R Aarons out there. Right? That's why I did double R.
You did double R, but the feminine spelling doesn't double R.
Yeah, well, her girlfriend's named Flynn.
No, that's not Aaron. That's not...
Oh, that's Lola.
That's Lola. Lola's girlfriend is Flynn.
No, they aren't. They rhyme.
Oh, Flynn and... Kryn.
Kryn, yeah. Kryn was the Nathaniel style.
Mousy.
She can open home portals just like him.
Yes.
What was my question?
Why would they be hunting Tresska? And I did answer what Lola.
Well, no, you did. You did. It was after that. I forgot. Roll tape.
Roll tape.
If only there was that in life.
And Draelynn choosing his 2 weapons as to not hurt anybody.
It's mess with your emotions and mess with your mind.
Your mind. Okay, hold on.
Vial of mind and heartstring.
What can Draelynn do with the Vial of Mind?
He can teleport people. That's what he does to Tresska and the boy.
Okay.
At the end of the chapter, yeah. And he uses it in the fight, I think.
I didn't see him using it in the fight.
He definitely used heartstring.
Oh, it says... Draelynn's eyes were full too, but it seemed not to impede his next strike. It was clean and unexpected.
That's because he was crying too.
Yes. Almost, it's... But you just use he just uses heartstring.
Yeah. I mean, he could use Vial of Mind. It's just a matter of being able to teleport, so he could just move behind her.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if he's going to pick 2, and she picks 2... then why not have an extra little bit, but you don't have to use it kind of thing.
Or, if I delete that...
Oh. When she struck, he disappeared. Only to reappear behind her. It was clean and unexpected. Right into her gut.
So he makes her sad, teleports behind her, and then punches her in the gut. Boom. As she turns around or something. I don't know.
So only to reappear behind her, ready to strike. Add that just a little bit, and it would smooth that whole line out. Yeah, that feels a lot smoother. When she turned to look for him, it was
she punched him in the stomach.
Unexpected.
So she turned around because he went behind her. So she turned around and then he punched her in the gut as she was doing it. Mm-hmm. Not expecting him to teleport.
I thought you people would try not to fight.
Yeah.
What is Draelynn meaning in that moment?
Like, why are you testing me now? I didn't think you guys wanted to fight. Why are you fighting? She's like, oh yeah, he's the one.
Okay.
She's never seen anything like that before. People just forcing sadness onto her and then disappearing in front of her that quickly. It's like that kind of magic is harder to control, takes a little more effort, and he just does it. It's not a problem.
After being here for only a few days.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They don't really say how long he's been here.
They say a few days. He's only been here for a bit.
Yeah, not for very long.
But
he has had enough time to talk with the rebellion and learn some stuff. Mm-hmm. And then they go to sleep, and the Marsec officer comes in. Market security, if anyone wonders.
Market security officer Lucas.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. No, that was... it was a short chapter, but...
No, not really. The shorter chapter than this.
You have a shorter chapter?
Yeah, the boy's chapter. There's a chapter of the boy that's... I got like 4 paragraphs, but like I was saying earlier, it's because there's not a lot of time for him to do anything.
Yeah.
Or see anything because things have to keep moving past his point of view. But after that, you get a lot more of the boy. It's just hard to write the boy early on because... you're really listening to the story through his ears.
Yes. And his questions.
And with as many questions as he can ask, but that's not many.
Right.
But the boys' chapters always end up very small. Way smaller than everyone else's. I think that's okay.
Yeah, it is okay because... yeah, Draelynn's learning about things too, but... he doesn't have so far to go. The boy has to learn all the things Draelynn knows and this world all at once.
Mm-hmm. And as a child. Taking it all in, yeah. Unable to take part in all the fun.
Yeah.
Question of the episode?
Ooh, question of the episode is... what is so important about Growlick's hammer, maybe?
Oh, that's that. Well, that's a pretty big and important thing in the book.
It is a pretty big and important thing.
It's not just supernaturally powerful. It's something else. Something bigger and more intimidating. The amount of power just flowing through it freely. It's absurd.
What question would you pose the listeners?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'd say...
because my other question would have been about the fighting.
What about it?
Like, why such a... Why do you think someone would have these fights and there's tickets to these arenas? It happens often, it feels like.
I would say that to get that ticket is basically go sign your death warrant, your death certificate. Mm-hmm. For most people. In fact, I would say for everyone but Tresska, to skip forward just a little bit. She's the only one who's ever successfully done it.
You know, it's curiosity, what are people's normal motivations for taking that ticket? And would you do it yourself?
would you take a chance against 3 people, hands tied behind your back, and no magic in you?
Oh, none magic.
I don't remember, actually.
I felt like there was magic.
I'll get into it. Okay. I'll get into it later. It's written, so the answer's there. I just have since forgotten.
I think that was one of the parts I had gleaned a little bit, and I think there was magic being used.
There was magic being used.
Okay.
But whether or not you're allowed to have it, I don't remember. I think he was allowed to have one thing.
Yes, I feel like that was correct.
And if he wasn't, he might not have been able to survive it.
Yeah.
But he does have a little container that Thram thought could crack the world. So maybe he'll use that. All right.
Recap.
Let's go do the recap. I forgot what the chapter was.
Resistance Alliance.
I forgot the chapter heading.
Chapter 4. Chapter 34?
Not there yet.
Right. How many chapters are in this book? Are we revealing?
39.
39?
Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe more or less by the end of it. There was a less chapter in the last book.
I see.
But in this book, it may be one more chapter.
Nathaniel spends some time with the boy. This is really all he does in this chapter.
Yeah, he kind of just hangs back in the house with everyone. Doesn't.
Well, at the slip ring too.
Yeah. He's just kind of.
The boy gets a new face.
Oops, I didn't realize that until just now.
Draelynn shows off a little bit of his abilities. And Tresska has many, many, many friends.
She does.
She does.
All right, that was a nice, quick, easy one. 30 minutes. Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much.
Love you. Bye.
Have a good day. Bye.